with the smash factor as high as it was, you've got a really good shaft that's still working for you. I'm still trying to beat a shaft I fit you to.
Yeah.
You know, 5+ years ago. Honestly, I think it was, gosh, almost 7 years ago you've had that shaft now. So the shaft has longevity. I've gotten you a couple Father's Day gifts, you know, with some driver heads in the past years, right? We've used that same shaft. We've put different driver heads on it as they've come out, right? So it really shows that that shaft is the investment piece and it's the engine that drives the car. We replace tires every now and then, right?
Absolutely love it.
We've got Father's Day right around the corner, so we've got my father, Keith Schneider, AKA Pops, in for a fitting today. We're gonna see what we can do here. He's got a GT driver right now with a Drago 45 that I fit him to back in my first year on the job in 2019 down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's see if I can beat that shaft. It's been a phenomenal shaft for him, but we're gonna make sure we hand him what works. Keith, you're warmed up and ready to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Hit me 5 to 7 more shots. We're gonna start fresh, new data set. We're gonna talk about what we need to improve and how we're gonna get there.
Great.
So I know you've been a big Titleist fan for many years, right, Keith? Now, I know you wanted to test out GTS. That's what got you back in here today. But are you open to other heads if they end up working better for you?
Of course. Anything that makes my game better, I'm for it.
Great, great. Now, that's a VA Composite shaft. That's a Drago 45-3, so that's a 45-gram regular flex. Now, you might be thinking at home, he's swinging faster than regular flex. He absolutely is, but he's able to control the shaft really well, and it gave him the most pop. In fact, we tested out a lot of stiffs, and we went back to that regular flex shaft. And it's so funny because they labeled it as 45-3. We were joking before we started filming that he thought it was a stiff shaft this entire time, and I'm pretty sure his pride was a little bit hurt when he found out that it was a regular flex.
I'm telling all my buddies at home it's extra stiff.
All right, that is plenty of data here. Some really good shots are going a little bit long. You've always been a straight driver, but I do notice when playing with you that your misses are they're much shorter than where they should be in comparison. So I want to try to make those misses closer to your good shots today. And then hopefully we make your good shots a little bit better. But if I can get those misses to be more consistent, you're going to know, hey, what's my aiming point? Can I fly this this lip of the bunker? If we were talking about irons, can I always get it over this water, right? Your ball speed is king today. You've got 145.5 ball speed. And then the smash factor, which is 1.47. Spin maybe a touch high for you because our height's fine. Landing angle's at 40. Okay, PGA Tour average landing angle is 38 degrees. I don't want to drop down below 36 for you. Otherwise, I feel like you might lose out in some carry every now and then. And I know you mentioned when you're hitting it really well right now, you're hitting it low. So really, it's more so a spin mitigation if we can do that for you than anything else.
Am I leaving a lot of yardage on the timing for 99 mile an hour? Am I leaving a lot of yardage on that? With
your spin rate, you are. If we can keep the launch high and reduce that spin, now I don't want to go crazy, right? If I can keep you at 2,500 RPMs a spin, I'm happy. We drop below that, you can have some control issues out there. Like mine's below that. Your big miss still, in my opinion, still tends to be just a little bit too left. And if we go too low in spin, it can really accentuate that left miss. So I'm going to go to the wall. I'm going to grab a few different shafts. We're going to start with the GTS 2 head. You've got the GT2 right now. We're going to start with that head. We're going to play around with a couple different shafts. Once we find the right shaft for you, we're going to use the best shaft over and over again, try out some different heads, find the best combination, and validate that shaft selection for you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Be right back.
That's golf that I wanted to play all the time.
All right. So we've got the GTS2. Okay, we've got the heavy weight forward to try to bring that spin down a little bit. We'll try it with the weight back as well. I've got the same setting that you currently have, same loft, so 10 degrees of loft. And then the settings A4, lofting it up a little bit further, okay? So we're gonna work with this here. We've got the Nemesis 55-3. Let me put a new tag in here. Feel free to take a practice swing. Practice swing.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. He listens to directions quite well. I've been dealing with this since childhood. All right, Pops, let's see a few good ones in here.
All right. Felt good.
Spins down like we want.
That was toey.
Sure that was toe?
I thought so.
Yeah, just low toe. Yeah, the last two were right above the equator, right where I want them. That last one just was a little bit low toe, which added some spin.
That's cool that you can see all that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Give me one more here. It seemed like you were laboring on that one a little bit. Is that accurate?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Probably. Appreciate the help. Okay, hand that one back to me, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
No swing tips like normal?
That's all the club's fault today, Pops. Club or mine. Yep.
That's what I've been told.
Okay.
Thank you.
One thing that I will mention here is with the smash factor as high as it was, you've got a really good shaft that's still working for you. It allows me to test some boundaries, right? You've already been fit by us. You've got to, I'm still trying to beat a shaft I fit you to, 5+ years ago. Honestly, I think it was, gosh, almost 7 years ago that you've had that shaft now. So hard to beat that at times. But the great thing about this is it allows us to test the boundaries, and it allows us to show you that, hey, the shaft has longevity, right? You've put, I think I've gotten you a couple Father's Day gifts, with some driver heads in the past years, right? We've used that same shaft. We've put different driver heads on it as they've come out, right? So it really shows that shaft is the investment piece, and it's the engine that drives the car. We replace tires every now and then, right?
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, let's hit a few more, okay?
Okay.
3 or 4 shots, and we'll take a look at the data. That was hit hard.
Yeah. I noticed my swing speed going down a little bit, so I thought I'd throw the left.
I'm going to take that number off the screen and keep doing that. Swing your swing. That was really good, though. What I like about this is we are keeping the spin rate down. Now, I'm going to focus a little bit more on spin rate when it comes to head than I am with shaft. But if we can get a lot of the way there with shaft, great. Okay, lost that one out a little bit to the right, and I did see a little bit of a tendency here to miss it to the right.
Okay.
Good. Hand that one back to me, please.
Okay.
The Nemesis was too far to the right. Misses weren't as good. I mean, look, we've got about the same ball speed.
Yeah.
You're swinging a little bit slower. It's a heavier shaft. You've got a 45.3 in your Drago.
Okay.
The carry went up a little bit. The total went up a little bit because we were able to stabilize that spin rate and still keep that landing angle above 36, which we didn't want to drop below.
Right.
Also, I do like that our landing angle was more consistent, okay? Because our launch was more consistent. Spin was more consistent. And your delivery of the face was more consistent, but we did leave it open. Again, we hit about a 20-yard cut with this, which I know you don't like hitting cuts, but your swing is a cut swing. Okay, so I want to try to hand you something back in that 45, 40 gram range.
Okay.
Okay. Killed the spin, that's for sure. Slight miss hit, I'll take that miss, right? It's all about a game of misses.
Yeah.
Good experiment. Probably felt the worst all day, right?
Yep.
Not the right bend profile for you. Doesn't mean it's not the right weight for you, but we did rule out a kind of higher launch bend profile.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the drawing board and grab 2 more shafts and the heads that we're going to try. But I am pleased with the Drago that you've been testing with.
Is there a new Drago? I mean, is it the same shaft?
It's the same shaft. Wow. So if that ends up winning, I'm going to also bring that shaft up so we can do the head testing with the current shaft you have.
Okay.
So I do have a Artera AO2 45-4. So we're going to go to a stiff 45 and see what happens here before we go on to heads. I've got one more shaft that's back to the 40 regular, but again, it's really hard to beat that Drago. You had a good fitter about 7 years ago.
I still remember the time when we got your first clubs and they were a women's set.
Oh, thanks, Pops. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Good to go.
Knew that was off.
Yep. Here, one more. If we find a good one, we'll keep on going. If not, we're moving.
That was good.
Okay. Okay.
Pulled it a little bit.
Yeah, a little pull, but look at, I mean, the ball speed was one of the best all day. All right, give me one or two more here. This is a contender. We know you like that 40 gram. Nothing's really come close in the ball speed. Just want to see if we're timing it up because again, it's going to be hard to go away from your shaft with how good you're still hitting it.
Yeah,
You know?
I love that shaft.
Little miss. All right.
Yeah.
Too many misses here, Dad. Had the longest total distance of the day, and we did stabilize the spin. But again, that Ventus Blue stabilized the spin the most for us.
Right.
And I can still work with that against for the head. I like the fact that the Drago is more towards the center.
Cool.
That's really where we're still at right now.
All right.
Okay, let's try one more shaft before we lock in the Drago.
All right.
Can you hit it straighter for me next time?
Okay.
It's that low spin that we talked about wanting to stay away from, but again, I can control that more with head than I can with shaft. That was great. Even though you missed that shot, your face to path was 0.8 degrees closed. And you had a slightly on the toe maybe. But again, spin low, it's a little bit low from where I want it, but I have the weight up. I can move the weight back on this head and improve the spin immediately. So anyway, let's hit two more. Again, very straight. Slight miss, but very straight, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, your control with this shaft is phenomenal. Didn't quite hit it as solid, and the spin was a little bit too low. We still gained in total. We didn't gain anything in carry. I love the fact of how straight it was. So what I want to do, we're going to hit the Drago just with this new head, just for comparison. Whichever shaft ends up being the best, I'm going to move the heavy weight from the front to the back and just see how that improves, okay? I didn't want to change that yet, and guess what was making a difference? Wanted to keep that variable constant.
Like how many different like permutations, that's the right word, of the different weights and the different angles and man.
So the way Titleist, talks about it is they've got 3 heads, right? The GT2, 3, or GTS2, 3, and 4 that just came out, but it's really 6 heads because you can flip the weight. Okay, there's a lot of different gram weights that you can play around with as well, but try to think about it as heavyweight front and lightweight back, or vice versa. Okay, and very rare you'd put the same weight in the front and the back. I could see it happening, but you're typically going to put either a heavier weight forward to bring CG forward and spin down, or put the heavy weight back to bring the center of gravity back and bring the forgiveness up, which in turn typically brings spin up as well. So anyway, this is the Drago. Back to the shaft that you came in with, our demo version.
That felt good too.
It's going to be close between these two, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're trying them, apples to apples, one after the other.
Yeah. You definitely can feel a weight difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize it before.
Can you feel it between this shaft and the last shaft?
Yeah, I think so.
So here's the thing. They're both the exact same weight.
That's crazy.
But the materials are in different parts of the shaft. So you're still feeling the weight difference because of the balance point of the shaft, even though they're the same weight, within a few grams. But they're both the 4R.
That toey.
I'll take that. It's the low miss, but 263 down the middle. But if that's the miss, okay.
Yeah, that's not
Take
bad.
that.
I can live with that.
Yeah. Great shot. That's the one that was slightly higher spin, but it really worked out. Still 260, carried it to 237. 150 smash. That's great. Great contact, just slightly below the center, and that's why it spun more.
I really think that was probably the T.
It probably, yeah, it's never you,
but, I went after that one a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, but this is what you've been describing, right? Is a few of the lower shots.
Yeah.
We didn't see that with the other one. We just saw the low spin. We've kind of got a 1A, 1B kind of going on here, but you're getting more ball speed out of the Drago. You're getting better contact out of the Drago.
That's pretty good there.
Yeah, you're just launching it low, but I can't bring you away from that Drago in good conscience, Dad.
No,
I really can't.
I've always loved it.
Yeah, we just need to optimize the ball flight. I mean, you are about 40 driver swings in,
Right.
You can hit one more, but I want to change the weight here.
That felt really good.
And the launch was where it needs to be. Left the face open, that's what added the spin there for you.
Okay.
But I mean, the contact was phenomenal. I mean, there's, of all the shafts we tried, I'm glad we got to really try some different shafts here because we already knew you had a great gamer in there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I like it.
Even though that shaft is 7 years old, you know, it was still the best shaft for you, right?
Crazy.
Crazy. Pretty cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Hand that one back to me. I'm going to flip the weight before we change heads, okay?
Okay.
Tell me what happens with the feel
All right.
when I move this 11 gram weight to the back and I move the 5 gram weight to the front.
Okay.
Good to go. Spun it a little bit. I think it's just where we hit it on the face.
Yeah. That was good.
Just barely. Okay. I'll show you here. Very similar smash and ball speed. That's, again, validating the shaft selection.
Okay.
Same exact smash factor, very similar ball speed, very similar carry, but we added just too much spin there. So I'm almost thinking we go to a GTS2 11 degree head for you, just so you can loft it all the way up to 12.5 when you're hitting it low.
Okay.
But we're able to keep it at 11 or go down to 10.25 as needed. That's in my mind.
Okay.
I like the weight more forward for you, and if you start swinging a little bit different, you start seeing it come out really low, or you feel like it's knuckling on you, you don't see it kind of stay in the air, you see it fall, then flip the weights.
Okay.
You know, but I like the weight forward for you at this point.
Okay. This is a 10.5.
QI4D.
Okay.
Good to go. A little bit high on the face. Let's see what happens. Yep, spin, jumped up.
Did it?
Yep. Sounded better.
That felt good. Oh, golly.
I know, right?
What happened to that?
We're in the lumberyard, Danny. That was better. But still, too high a spin. Hand it back.
Okay. Too high spin?
Too high a spin, yeah. And we had the weight forward on this one, okay? Sweet swing.
Yeah, that was good. That felt
Yeah.
good.
265. That's old man strong right there. On the face. Okay. We'll finish up there. They were, again, very consistent shots,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Very consistent.
Yeah, not too bad.
This is going to be kind of cool. See the heat map for the Drago?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So this is your gamer,
All
right? You're hitting it a little bit more where
high.
we should more often when you were, you know, fresh,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But this is where we're at, okay? We eliminated a little bit of the right side, a little bit more.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same shaft, different head.
Yeah.
Overall, let's take a look at the data. We gained ball speed, we gained smash factor, reduced the spin, made it more consistent. We just, look, the landing angle got to 35, where we started out at 39. We're still in that range of 34 to 38 that I like to see,
Right.
okay? And that allowed us to gain 5 yards of total. Not the same carry.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, what did I say? We wanted to, you know, tighten up the carry distance, right?
Yep.
Standard deviation 2.1 instead of 5.9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same exact shaft. I like the new head for you. 5 yards extra distance.
Yeah.
More consistent. You liked it, right?
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Happy
for
to
your
help.
time.
Thanks for tuning in here. A really good example of why getting the right shaft in your hands makes so much sense. After 7 years, I couldn't beat it. I did a good job on that first fitting, but it's something that we see quite often. In fact, myself, I've had the same shaft for the last 5 years. Well, I do play the BB now. I played the TB before. It's the same shaft, new generation. But I've had that same shaft for as long as it's been out. And at the end of the day, it works great for me. And I just put new heads on it whenever they come out. So whichever one works best for me. And that's what we saw here with my dad as well. So let's work this up in the system. Let's get it ordered up for you. Let's play some golf.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Thank you.